end up falling over. Thank you so much. And Bob, thanks for your kind words. It means a lot. And Marion and Eddie and Paddy and Pauline, thank you so much for your kind words and for leading the way and showing us how it's done, because that's what we do. We follow what has been done before us. So thank you so much. As much as I tried over the last few weeks to get out of Bob, there was no getting it out of Bob. And so he texts me back. He's like, it's like Christmas Day. You just have to wait. Oh, God, this is just, it's kind of a bit surreal. I went to write out a few notes last night, and I decided to just wing it, because my team said, you don't do notes. I'd be so busy flapping over notes. You know, for those of you that don't know our story, we joined Forever almost 9 years ago. It'll be 9 years next month. And I know you hear the story of pack horses, race horses, and show ponies. Well, we were a pack horse. We definitely took our time. I joined Forever. I joined, didn't I? You did. To earn, yeah, it was me, yeah. To earn €50 per week. You know, that's all my expectations were when I joined Forever, was €50 per week. I was a stay-at-home mum. Well, I wasn't. I was a beautician, but I wanted to be a stay-at-home mum, and I could see Forever as my way of doing that. However, I couldn't see any bigger. I really couldn't see how I could be like these guys. I used to come to everything, come to success days, come to trainings, but I just didn't see it. The switch hadn't flicked, as Bob was saying. It just, my vision wasn't there. So, you know, it took me a year and a half to get to manager, but then we very quickly moved to senior manager, car plan. And we were always kind of number 11, number 12 in the top distributors. Once we made it into the top 10 in 2010. We were number 10. We were looking at our certificates last night. Yeah, in 2008, was it? 2008. And then last year, absolute shock, was number 6. And we walked off the stage here, and it just goes to show you, Pauline had said to me, you can do number 1. And I said, if I can get into the top 3, I'll be happy. That's really, just to stand here with these guys, that's what I wanted. So it's amazing when you really put your mind on something and you put your focus on it. But you know, our business changed completely when James joined me. I know everyone looks at me as kind of the face of our business, and I do most of the talking, as you can tell. You know, but the amount of work James does behind the scene, as all our team know, they ring James before they ring me now, nearly, that it wouldn't be the success it is. So thank you, James, for everything you do. You know, Bernie Allen, where's Bernie? Bernie passed me up a tissue a second ago. I think she knew how this was going to go. Thanks, Bernie. And then we had a turning point, a big, big turning point in our business about 15 months ago. And that was the switch, Bob. That was what made us decide, because I came close to quitting. And that's something that is going to shock a lot of people, but I didn't know whether I was going to continue. Okay, so that was 15 months ago. And then the saying was, well, would I go back? This is what myself and a lot of our managers say, would I go back? Would I go back to a salon? Would I go back to that? Could it give me what Forever gives me? No. Amanda's there going, no, no. You know, so I sat down, did a lot of soul searching, and decided 15 months ago that if I was going to stay, I had to be the best. And I had to be the best as I could be. And that's really what it was. We really, really, really said, if we're going to do it, then we're really going to do it. And we're going to stop messing. But I have to say, all honestly, our team, where would we be without our team? Obviously, we wouldn't be here. But we have, I believe, one of the best teams. And it's not just teams, they're best friends. Our team are amazing. So every single one of you, NDPs, assistant supervisors, assistant managers, the manager group we have are just incredible. But you all are valued members of our team, and we love you all so much, genuinely. You're all incredible. I'd like to thank my rock and my anchor in this business, Marion Fitzgerald, who I can honestly say, without Marion, I wouldn't be here. And Marion, I do know that. Without you, I wouldn't, because my sponsor kind of just stopped supporting me and helping me. And that was tough, and I was kind of orphaned. And I remember going to a meeting, I remember Marion ringing me the first time and saying, would you like help? And I was like, oh my God, Marion Fitzgerald on the phone. You know, I was so afraid. She's coming to my launch. Yeah, I remember it so well, you know. But it's amazing, someone said it on the stage here earlier on. You know, if your upline can't help you, you keep going upline. Somewhere up the line, there's a leader that's been across this stage today. And you tell them what you want, you tell them you need help, and they will help you, and they will show you the way, you know. Thank you as well to Pauline and Paddy for all you've done for us. Brian and Connie. Where's Connie? There she is. Yeah, and Brian, for just being such good friends to us, especially over the last 15 months. You're just amazing. Bob, Bill, Deborah, who I know I wreck her head all the time, but thank you so much, and all the staff in head office. Guys, head office are simply incredible. They are, so a round of applause for head office. I'd like to thank Rex Mom. You know, without Rex, none of us would be here. You know, what's that? Thrown away. But just, guys, dream big. I want you all to leave here today and dream big. Don't dream what you think is achievable. Do you think I thought this was achievable? No. Not in a million years. But you need to have massive goals, goals that are going to absolutely scare you. You don't need to know where they're going to come from. When we made the goal of level 2 chairmans, we didn't have our managers in place. Okay, Aileen, you weren't even a manager this time last year. And Aileen in the 1 year did chairmans. Yeah. So I didn't know, I didn't know where it was going to come from. You know, but it's funny, I was watching TV with the kids a couple of weeks ago. It was Mickey Mouse, actually. And Mickey Mouse said, belief makes the impossible possible. And I thought, good old Mickey Mouse. That's great. But it's true. And belief makes the impossible possible. Just believe. Don't worry how. It will happen. Now, you do need to work. Don't get me wrong. Sitting at home on the couch and believing isn't enough. You need to put a bit of work in. But if you're willing to work and really work with the ethic of would I go back? You know, Julia O'Brien was saying here earlier on about the Milky Bar moment. How many of us have had them? I've had it. Where you wonder, I would have gone for the Milky Bar. You would have gone for the Milky Bar. But I have to say, our driving force is our 3 babies. Although they're not babies, Sean's the same height as me now. But our 3 kids. And to be able to give them everything that they need. Not that they want, because we do say no, but that they need. And do you know this year, the income we have gotten from Forever? Somebody said, I think it was Bernie, said earlier on, you feel the weight coming off your shoulders. It is just incredible. I would have been 24/7, well not 24/7, but a lot of the time checking the bank account, what's in the bank account, what direct debits are going out, what's happening, can I afford to go here? I haven't checked my online banking all year. James does, and I know if he looks worried, then I should worry. But he's going around really happy, so I know something's going well. But yeah, what? He could be running off with most of it, yeah. But you know, guys, just believe. Set huge goals and believe that it can happen. And you know, stop looking at other people. Stop comparing yourself to other people. This is your race at your pace. Okay, so yes, you see people doing things in lightning speed, but that's not everyone's path. Okay, and what will happen is you'll get down and you'll say, I'm not as good as them. You don't need to be as good as them. You need to be your best self. And if you can do that, and you can really focus on being a bit better next month than you were this month, doing a few more CCs next month than you did, you will see your business grow. Because everyone has a different journey, but the one thing I know for sure, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's the people that stay in forever. It's the people that have stickability. Like us, 9 years to get to here, like. You know, do you think if I had to quit a year and a half ago, what would I be doing? Can you imagine? What would I be doing? So you need to have that stickability, and you need to believe, and you need to know that it is going to happen. But I know one thing, we're just warming up. So that's what I do know.
It'd be rude not to say something, wouldn't it? I'm dumbstruck, honestly. I had something in my head I wanted to say, and that's just gone. Still pinching ourselves for the company to have so much growth. It was always a goal of ours last year to have growth ourselves in our own business, but to be standing here today is just very, very special. I know when I go home, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Photoshop this, and Discoverello is going there instead of James and Niamh. Because I firmly believe that's what should be on that cert. Yeah, we represent them here today, but that needs to be on that certificate.
You get all emotional. Are you sure?
It's very warm in here, isn't it?
They fan you down?
3.5 years ago, I was still working for somebody else. I figured that that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life. That's why I was in the printing industry. I was a pre-press manager. Somebody gave me a title, so that kind of makes you feel compelled to work longer hours and get paid less, and they give you a bit of responsibility, and you feel as if you owe them something, but you don't owe them a thing. Because when we needed that company, they went bang, and they took whatever money that they could out of the company themselves. But Forever aren't going to do that, and we firmly believe that we're here, and Forever's going to be here for us. They're here for us when we needed them the most, and they're always going to be here for us. Again, Paddy, Pauline, Marion, and Eddie, Brian and Connie, Bernie, everybody that's been here before us, and we've seen what they've gone through, so we've got inspiration from them. As Niamh said, don't compare yourself to people, but be inspired by them. You can be inspired by your supervisor crossing the stage here today, and you could be in the business 10 years as a manager and still be inspired by somebody brand new. Because the journey they go on, the lessons that you learn from these people, don't just go home saying that was a great day. Whether it's training and you're taking notes, or even if you're not taking notes, but just look back on the success days. Go onto YouTube, look at the different videos, the testimonies that people give, and give them the credit for the courage for standing here today to do that. I'm in awe of everybody that takes to the stage and takes the microphone, because I am a quiet guy, I'm a shy guy, and I know how it feels to be standing here with the knees knocking. Yeah. And that saying of if the checks get bigger, the legs get stronger. We're obviously not earning enough money because my legs are still shaking. I have to thank Niamh for looking at this business, because 9.5 years ago, I didn't. I didn't stop her from looking at it. She was excited with it. I, like Jason, and like a couple of guys here on stage today, honestly thought it was a girly business. It'd be nothing for me. I come from a printing background. What would I know about health and nutrition or beauty products or anything like that? But anybody can get involved with this business. And as Ian said, you can get involved for small money, for an investment that gives you high return. And why not? And just share the opportunity with everybody. Share everybody's stories. Use the stories from people that have spoken. John and Mary gave a great story about the secure retirement income and being able to enjoy their life. Who wants to be working, well, when you're 70s? But if you enjoy what you're doing, why not? And even the sidelines. How's the book going, Paddy? It's going good. That's enough. Okay. Just a huge thank you to everybody here for the help and support. We've gotten support from so many people. It's impossible to thank everybody, so I'll just say one big thank you. Hopefully that will do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Well done, you.